Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests. Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
you get up, you dress up, and you fucking show up.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with promoter Ben Shalom. What a night, Ben. I mean, there was 50-50 fights. You were nervous about Callum Smith, the prospect that you signed. He got through Boris Crichton. He got through it, though. Yeah. And it was good promoting in that sense. And obviously, Savannah Marshall at the top of the bill there. I mean, undisputed, majority decision. Your initial reaction to that?
Just really pleased for Savannah. I know how hard she took October. It was a really tough time. It really was. She felt that she should have won. Like, going into the fight, she was convinced she was going to win. She felt like she didn't perform how she wanted to. She was not happy with how she went about her business that night and her game plan. And she wanted the rematch straight away. So it was really frustrating for her when she didn't get it. And the next best thing was this undisputed title fight, which I believe was the best option with Franchon Cruz. And fair play for Franchon. You don't see it in boxing very much where a unified world champion goes to someone else's home, and you have to respect that. And Savannah Marshall got the night that she dreamt of, and probably the night that she couldn't wait for since October. And there's not many fighters that have sort of the following and the fan base that she has to be able to just go around the country and do this, especially as a female fighter, is pretty incredible. And it's a credit to her. I think she comes across so well. She really is the people's champion. She cares so much about her fans. So to see her deliver for them tonight was incredible, and we have a new undisputed world champion.
Ben, I was standing behind you, and when the winner got announced and it was Savannah Marshall, I seen you jump up and down. You were elated, but how confident were you after that final bell that Savannah had got the nod?
I was very confident. It was the draw that threw me off, and then you never know in boxing, as we've seen before. So to be honest, it was relief. It was a must-win fight for her. It was a must-win fight for her personally, and I know how much it means to her and her family and everything. And it was just, yeah, as I say, relief. And I think that will be the best night of her career so far. And yeah, really just delighted to deliver it.
Clarissa Shields was here at the press conference. I mean, there's no love lost between these two women. Clarissa said to me when I spoke to her that she's going to knock Savannah out in the rematch, and it has to be in Detroit. Now, you're the man to speak to when it comes to where this fight will be, this rematch. Where would you like it?
I think it will end up in the UK because the money's here for women's boxing. That's why we're seeing the biggest fights here consistently. Ultimately, that's where I believe it will end up. But let's see. You know, we're open. We want the biggest fight possible. We're glad that Clarissa recognises that Savannah is more comfortable at 168, and that's where the rematch should be, and that's where I think it's going to be a lot more even. But yeah, let's enjoy tonight. We hope it will be the next fight for Savannah Marshall. I think they both want it. They're both desperate for it. Savannah in particular has not stopped thinking about that fight since October, and she's desperate for that fight. Where it will be, let's see. I hope it's in the UK.
Two questions for me, two more. Just run down the card for me. Tasha Jonas, Cam Simpson, Zach Chile losing to Jeffers. Just run down the card for me.
Yeah, gutted for Zach, but Mark Jeffers was a tough opponent, and there was a reason probably why he took it. And I know Mark for a long time. I remember meeting him before when I first started with Michael Jennings, and we went down to see him train down there, and he's been working away for a long time. He had an injury, which is probably why people haven't seen him. He was out for 18 months. But he's a top quality fighter, Mark Jeffers, with a serious fan base up here in Manchester, and there's not many, few and far between right now in the Northwest. So delighted for him. He took his chance and he boxed really, really well. I think Callum Simpson's a star. I think for me it was a step up that maybe was a big step up from what he really boxed before, and especially with Boris being so active and giving such problems to Lyndon Arthur and Steve Woodall. So great night for him, great learning night for him. I think he'll learn a lot from that fight. Ben Whitaker in a similar way had a great opponent for him, more rounds than he's ever boxed before, and yeah, really happy for him. I think people don't remember this is his fourth fight in the professional game. It's his second fight really back from injury, and so yeah, really happy for him. And yeah, Tasha Jonas, what can I say? Another two-weight world champion, her fourth world title. When she signed for us, she was a lightweight, and that was where she fought Katie Taylor. And I remember meeting her, and it was a frustrating Natasha Jonas. It was it was a tough, and I was always such a big admirer of her, and since 2012, and she'd done so much for the sport and never become world champion. She had that split, very, very close fight with Katie Taylor, which I thought showed her levels, and that was probably, that was at 135, which was probably not her most comfortable, and on another night, you never know what happens there, and Terry Harper, obviously that draw that for me was never a draw, so it was all about making sure she could achieve her dream. So to be here now, and she's won a 4th world title, is pretty special. Of course, we know Candy Wyatt was not the best opponent Natasha Jonas has ever faced, but she's made all the world champions at super welterweight look ordinary because she's a top quality fighter. So it's exciting now to see her at a weight that I know she's going to perform even better at. I know she's got her eye on super lightweight division as well with Chantal and Katie there. So she just wants the big names now. She's got her world title. She's a 2-weight world champion. And yeah, it was an emotional night for both Tasha and Savannah.
Quick one then, because one more, because I know you're pressed for time. So one more question. Beefy was here, Liam Smith. I spoke to him. He says basically his message to Chris Eubank was see you in September or see you later. For you, what can you elaborate? Can you elaborate? Is this fight going to happen? Can it happen? And will it happen?
I believe it will happen. I think both fighters want it. And what we were waiting for was Liam Smith's 100% confirmation that he'll be fit. And that's what's been so frustrating for him. Not just for the Eubank fight. He's at the top now. He's got the big names ahead of him, and he's got big nights ahead of him, and he wants to fight for a world title again. So it was all about the fitness. We got that last week, the 100% confirmation from the doctor. I expect that fight now to happen. We've given the date over to Wasserman, and yeah, hopefully could confirm next week.
Ben, thank you for having me this week, and until the next one, mate, congratulations. I'll see you again soon. Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
Join us for the very first IFL Live at London's Indigo at the O2, Sunday, August the 13th, with me, Kugan Cassius, and some very special guests, Eddie Hearn, Darren Barker, Johnny Fisher, and more. Tickets now on sale. So in the words of Eddie Hearn,
You get up, you dress up, and you fucking shut up.